So I wanted to do a video on how I got into NFTs. I kind of got into NFTs without actually realizing I was in NFTs. First thing that I purchased was something that actually went in on with some mates. We bought a Z-Run horse, and I didn't really know what an NFT was. All I knew that I was buying this digital horse that I was going to be able to race, which sounded a bit weird at the time, but also kind of cool. So we bought this horse, and we knew that we'd be able to breed it as well, but we could never agree to race it in the end, because if it wasn't a good racer, it kind of decreased the quality. So in the end we sold that one. I think it sold for about what we bought it for, but so didn't really make any money off that. We did try and buy a few more of those, but the drops were just so hard to get in on. You got given a time window, and there was thousands of others also still with these time windows, and you're all trying to mint, and it was just hopeless trying to load the page. Their server couldn't cope. So that was my first kind of NFT minting experience without actually realizing it. And then after that, probably in about August last year, I made an OpenSea account and bought a Colonists NFT. They ended up teaming up with Stainless Games, who produce Magic and some other games. They were kind of going for a MMO, kind of like Club Penguin style, but I think they're going 3D now. That was a bit of a learning experience that didn't do too well. I tried to flip one early on, didn't really happen. Still got those sitting in my wallet. Around this time I also found Fluff World, and I found they were Kiwi guys, and I really loved everything that they were doing, and I wanted to buy one, but at the time they were 0.4 ETH, and for me, just new to this whole NFT space, I was like, man, that's a lot of money to be spending on an NFT. But I'd follow what they do, and I was always kind of going, I wonder if I should get one of these. Ended up buying my first fluff at about 0.75, so still doing well today, but at the time I was freaking out because I was like, I'm crazy, I don't know if I should tell my friends what I've done or not. They'll all laugh at me. This was also around when I bought my first fluff after the Jadu Jetpack release, and so I missed the whitelist for that, but I watched a friend get one. We all tried to mint in the public, and they sold out so quickly that only one of us had managed to get one, and he did really well for himself. We're pretty stoked for him. But I knew after that I was like, I need to get in on the space. This is fun. Also, along when I was purchasing these, I had a friend who was kind of more interested in the one-of-one art pieces, so he found a guy who was making these NFTs called Chameleon Cyborgs, and they were all one-of-ones, and he was doing releases, and they seemed to be doing okay, so he'd release one each day, so I kind of refreshed the page and managed to find one that he'd just put out, so I bought that. I think he's since quit his actual day job and maybe gone under the radar a bit, but he obviously was doing okay out of it to be able to quit his day job, which is, I know, it's pretty cool. Hopefully he keeps producing, because I thought they were pretty awesome. I bought some My Eyes with the hope to flip one and keep the other, but they've kind of lost a bit of popularity at the moment. I've kind of found that at the moment the one-of-one arts aren't doing as well unless they're really well known. Otherwise they kind of just sit there under the radar, and you kind of can't really flip it or get rid of it. One that I thought might do okay, Professor Elon Rocket Factory, didn't. I think after mint, they had 10,000, and the mint only got up to about 2,000 or 1,500, and the team didn't really know what to do, and the lead dev just kind of disappeared. And still in the chat, they're trying to form a new team at the moment, so maybe in the future that might be worth something, or I might be able to actually sell it for something. Also bought some Win Lambos and a female fluff along the way too, and managed to get in luckily on some of the underground mints on the backgrounds that Fluff World released. Whenever Fluff World touch something, it seems to be going to gold, so I'll try and get in on anything that I can. I'm pretty excited for the Burrows releasing. That's just a quick overview of some of the NFTs, but yeah, it's definitely a fun space. There's definitely room for growth this year. Also pretty risky. A lot of them may turn to nothing at some stage. I think, you've got to kind of pick your wins and also take your profits when you can. I'm really backing Fluff World in this metaverse space. We'll just have to see how that all plays out in the next year or two.